What's up, everybody? Look at that. We started on time.
Wow, that's great.
Happy Thursday. You've got Jack and Bob here.
Hey.
We are rocking out with the Disney Afternoon Collection from Capcom.
That's right.
That just came out this week on PS4 and Xbox One and not Nintendo Switch?
Not Switch.
Not Switch.
We don't know why, but...
For the uninitiated, what's the Disney Afternoon Collection?
Well, it's basically based on... So long story short, there's a 5-game compilation. All the games featured are shows from a syndicated television package called the Disney Afternoon, which ran from 1990 to 1997. Every year there was a new show, including things like Rescue Rangers, Tailspin, Ducktales, other things that aren't on here like Bonkers, Goof Troop, The Mighty Ducks, Gargoyles,
Gummy Bears?
Gummy Bears.
Where's Gummy Bears, Capcom?
There was never a Gummy Bears NES game, which is strange, but I think we're going to start today with DuckTales. It is the best game in this collection, and it's also one I can play through really quickly, but do you want to start with DuckTales?
Yeah, let's start with
let's do it.
DuckTales. So, the thing I remember about these games, and I kind of came in like second round, they're already kind of retro and I was playing them, was that despite the fact that these are games based on children's properties, they're not kids games.
I mean, they're kids in 1990 games, and modern children are not prepared for what these games have to offer. So, I mean, they were made for a different time when you would get one game, and that was the only game you had, and you had months to perfect your playthroughs. There wasn't just like every game was free on your phone. You could jump between them at any point. It was like, no, you would learn these games. You would learn their ins and outs and every secret, and every boss. It's just, yeah. But thankfully, these games are now equipped with a new technology for your modern impatient gamer, where you can now rewind and fast forward. Oh, I guess you can just rewind. So you can rewind your way out of any problem if you mess
Fast
up.
forward would be good. Just hold through and just
That would be
beat the
great.
game.
I was wondering if you could fast forward through a thing you already rewinded through, but you can't. But yeah, so this game, every game in this collection has a bunch of bonuses, and the rewind function is for every game on the collection. There's also a boss rush for every game where you compete online to see who can get the best time.
Oh wow!
And there's a time attack, which I believe is just running through the game, and again there are leaderboards, and it looks just like a Twitch stream almost when you're playing it. So lots of really cool features, and the games run extremely well. I haven't noticed any problems, and it works really well on the PS4 controller, because I love the D-pad. It just works really well for these old 2D games. But
for sure.
Here's a secret, guys. Everybody, you want to grab this in Transylvania, it gets your hit points up by 1. So that's a very important item. You can also desecrate these graves, and some of them have treasures in them. Most of them just have ghosts that hurt you, so let's rewind and not do that. See? It works so well. Yeah, this is DuckTales 1989, based on the 1987 series, which ran for about 100 episodes. It was a groundbreaking series for TV animation because Disney was like, hey, what if TV animation didn't suck? How about that? Let's try that for once. And they had done Gummy Bears before that, which did look good and was a well-made show, but DuckTales they really put all of their money into and made 65 episodes at once, which was unheard of at the time. But after that, that was sort of how every cartoon was made for TV, just making all of your episodes at once and seeing how they do, and usually not making any more.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So actually, we're gonna just jump to the end of Transylvania here, because I know these levels really well, and it's not hard to, and they're all really short, so I should be able to beat DuckTales in like 20 minutes.
Awesome. We'll speedrun some DuckTales.
I'm sure the speed run for DuckTales is like 9 minutes or something. I don't know what the
Is the time trial
is.
Is time trial effectively a speed run? Like, is it the whole game that is time trials?
I haven't tried it, but I assume so. We can jump into it after this to check it out. So that's Magica Dispel, one of the bosses.
Oh yeah, I remember her.
Some of these characters are made up. She's one of Scrooge's nemesi, whatever you want to call that. But she is a fun character on the show.
Who are the what are the original characters?
Let me think. Well, Flintheart Glomgold is at the end. He's sort of the last boss in this game. He was Scrooge's rival, another Scotsman. The guy you fight in the African mines he's a villain in one episode. I forget what his name is, but he does play a part in that episode. And a few things like the boss of the Amazon, I think they just made that up. Obviously, Count Dracula Duck is not canon. He is the last boss of this game. I mean, spoilers. The end of this game comes out of nowhere. It's like, you gotta go back to Transylvania and fight Count Dracula Duck. Why? We need a last boss. And
yeah, it's like Castlevania.
Yeah, and they could have had a better pun. It's just like, you just added the word duck onto the end of Count Dracula, which is not the most clever thing in the world.
Oh, so, Kevin. I'm gonna call you Kevin. Kevin?
I don't know.
Yeah? Alright. What's up, Kevin?
How do you spell that? K-Y?
K-Y-V-E-N.
Kyven. Sure.
We call you Kyven. He says the last awesome games done quick run of Ducktales was 7 minutes and 20 seconds.
That's totally possible. I can see that. And there are different endings again in this game. I'm not going to get the good ending because you do have to grind for money, but if you get 10 million by the end of the game,
you get to be rich.
You get to be richer, but all that means is like you get a slightly different picture at the end of the game. There's no different text, I don't think, or anything. Oh, okay.
That was what games were for, man. It was like, you got that, and it was like, neat. Take a Polaroid photo of your CRT television, and
you have one new piece of art to look at. That's your reward. So lots of fun secrets in Ducktales. Lots of jumping above the level to go to secret rooms. And that's why these levels are fun to explore, especially if you've never played it before and don't know where everything is. So if you thought one secret room was fun, wait till you see a second secret room.
Whoa.
They went there. And we can't hear the music that well. I assume our stream people can, but the music in this game is so good. One of the best soundtracks on the NES. All 7 songs in the game are really good. And this game was remade in 2013. DuckTales Remastered, I think it was called. Remastered?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, they got all the voice actors. They got Alan Young, the voice of Scrooge, a few years before he died, R.I.P. And it was a fun little remake. Not quite as faithful as the Wonder Boy thing we played yesterday, but it was still pretty good.
It was good. They did a couple really excellent remakes there. That Castle of Illusion around the same time got a remake. That was also like a pretty faithful adaptation of it.
That's right, yeah, the old Genesis game.
Yeah.
So I mainly played this game on the Game Boy. It was one of my first Game Boy games, and it's identical, so your Game Boy skills will transfer over. And this is so granular, but in every game after this, every DuckTales game after this, so in this version of DuckTales, to Pogo, you jump and then you hit down and B. In every future version of this game, you would just have to hit B. They got rid of that extra button press to Pogo. I think they were like, you don't need to do this. It's very satisfying though. It's like this mechanic is kind of unique to DuckTales.
Mm-hmm.
Weirdly enough, in the newer Donkey Kong Country game, Tropical Freeze, Cranky Kong controls like Uncle Scrooge. He has a pogo attack like this.
That's awesome.
And I did ask the director about that, and he laughed. And he was Japanese, so he called him Scrooge Oji-san, which is fun. So yeah, lots of platforming, and one of the few games where you play as an old man, a very limber old man. Scrooge, that was a cheap hit. Scrooge can get around with this cane of his.
Yeah.
It's less of a thing to help him walk and more of a thing to like empower him. I don't know if he ever pogo jumped in the show.
Yeah, I don't recall that part in the show.
It was like, oh, see, I hate that.
Yeah.
It was a good way for people making this game to be like, what can we do with this character to make him fun to control? And they just looked at his cane and said, oh, okay. I don't think Scrooge was disabled in any way. I don't know why he ever had a cane in the first place.
Like rich people have canes, right?
Yeah, I guess that was an affectation of the rich in the 30s or whenever. Scrooge is like a 1940s character. Interestingly enough, I have all the Scrooge trivia too, if you want to hear it.
Yeah, apparently.
Scrooge made his first appearance in I believe, a Donald Duck cartoon about the importance of paying your taxes. It was a wartime cartoon that was basically like, hey idiots, you should pay your taxes because we're fighting people overseas and we need your money. So, Scrooge appears in like a fantasy as an unnamed character, basically, I think it's like the evil side, like, you know, like the angel and the devil on your shoulder. It was sort of like the angel and the Scotsman. And the Scotsman was like, no, keep your money, laddie. I think that's how it went. And of course,
were Scotsmen known for not paying taxes?
Well, here's the thing about Uncle Scrooge. He's sort of based on an outdated racial stereotype where Scotsmen are cheap.
Of course,
that's where Scotch tape comes from. It's like cheap tape. So that's where we get that. I mean, I don't think anyone's offended by it now. It was just like
it's like going Dutch. Like, Dutch people are cheap too.
Is that really where that comes from?
Yeah, that's why you split a meal, because Dutch people are cheap. You hear copper wire was invented?
No.
2 Dutchmen were fighting over a penny?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I've never heard that stereotype. So, man, I guess
basically everybody in Europe during the war was careful with their money because it was a wartime, and apparently Americans were like, you cheapos.
I bet like when they were immigrants too, it's just like, why are these immigrants so cheap?
Yeah.
Let's not hire them. Yeah, but that was the stereotype Scrooge is based on. It's now lost to time, and I think nobody could ever be offended by it. If you're Scottish out there and are angry, let me know. Put it in the comments.
So in the chat, Flemish Dog is saying that he has the Japanese Famicom version of this game, and it's called something like Crazy Duck Adventure.
It's like One Paku Duck something. Yeah. I don't know if I'm sure Ducktales made it to Japan in some way.
Yeah, I think so. Probably like most of the Disney stuff eventually.
Yeah, I mean, Japan loves Disney, for sure. So yeah, we're down 2 levels out of 5, so we're doing pretty good.
So you're gonna do this. What's your time?
It's a short game if you know. I mean, it's a short game in general, but especially if you know where everything is.
Yeah, I think when I was playing it, I was lost, so I was kind of like going in circles for a bit.
And there's no rule to this, but I always save the moon for last. It's the most epic level with the best music, and you can't start with the moon. You have to end with the moon.
Yeah, interesting that it let you just pick whatever level you want.
Yeah, it is Capcom, and they did make Mega Man, so I feel like they were sort of big on that idea, and it was an impressive thing at the time. Like, I can just go to whatever level I want to go to. It's 1989. I'm crazy with freedom and power.
Yeah, I liked that a lot because I was like a big Mario and Sonic fan, and those are so linear that it's just like, oh, like I was like, oh, I really want to play that level. I'm like, well, guess I gotta go play 8 other levels.
You played 1-1, now you gotta play 1-2, and don't complain. Oh. So this level is a little tricky because of ice. Nobody likes ice levels.
No.
But this one has ice and spiders.
Ice and spiders.
Together at last.
Yeah. Oh, it's Launchpad.
Yeah, Launchpad will take you back to Duckburg. Basically, Launchpad is the way to get your better endings. You collect a bunch of money, fly back to Duckburg, and then enter the level again. So he's sort of just a means of getting the better endings. And I'm trying to... my bad. I'm trying to get to Bubba Duck, the cave duck guy they added in the show later. If you free him, you'll get another one of those life-extending things, and I think he's this way. The levels are a bit maze-like, and there's different routes and stuff, which is cool. I think I'm on the right track. Yes, I am. Cool. Bubba's trapped in the ice. Please help him. Okay.
Flowshock also says that the his Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Famicom game is called Legend of the Radical Ninja Turtle.
Oh yeah, it's much more epic.
Yeah, legend.
They're not even
like you have a legend going on. Were you a fan of the Disney Afternoon cartoons?
Oh god, yeah. I mean, that was basically every afternoon for me from 1990 to probably 1996. I don't think I was there for the last year. I was like, I'm 15, good sir. I will watch my South Parks. Thank you very much.
I came in at the end of it, so I was like the ones that aren't as good, right? Like Goof Troop is
Quack Pack.
Oh man, yeah. Quack Pack. I wasn't there. I wasn't there for Quack Pack. Yeah. They were teens.
They
called him Uncle D.
Yeah, Uncle D. They gave him different personalities. It was kind of like the Goof Troopening of Donald Duck. It's like, what if Donald Duck was also a dad? No, wait, they're his nephews. I don't know what the relationship was, but...
That one was at least like, they went on adventures still. It felt kind of like Ducktales. Whereas like Goof Troop was so weird because you're just like, why does he live in the suburbs?
Well, I mean...
Like, why does he... Like,
I'm pretty sure Disney wanted to make their own version of The Simpsons, and that's where Goof Troop came from.
Yeah.
The Simpsons was huge at the time. They were like, well, we got a stupid dad and a badical kid. We can team up together.
He skateboards.
Yeah, and that's about all he does.
I found Goof Troop really interesting for a couple reasons. Like, one, like, it turned Goofy's canon into those shorts where he was like...
Oh, you're right.
Messing up with, like, exercise equipment and stuff, and you're like, oh, so that's Goofy. Like,
his name was George Geef.
Yeah,
they gave him an actual name in those shorts, because the truth about that is his voice actor left Disney, so they had to do something different with the character. And then I think he eventually came back and Goofy was back to normal. But yeah, he was like the suburban dad in the 50s, like,
Beagle Boys.
Here's how to go fishing, and here's how to quit smoking, and things like that.
Yeah, it's so weird. So it's interesting that they turned that into, like, his character. And then also... that show gets a lot more interesting in the context of a Goofy movie.
Oh, I love a Goofy movie.
Because it's just like there's all these questions like, what happened to Pete's wife and daughter?
Oh.
Like, like interesting. Like
They're not in a Goofy movie.
we've established that they're there.
Yeah,
but
you know
like
what? Peg should have left Pete.
yeah, and that's what
I
it sounds
think,
like. 'Cause he never says like, oh, Peg's taking the daughter. Like it's just
Yeah.
like he kind of talks about being like a single dad, and you're like, huh, like that's messed up. Like,
That
but you
movie's
were a bad
great.
husband, so like.
That
Yeah.
movie is way better than any Goof Troop movie deserved to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is the most 90s Disney movie, too. You got Pauly Shore in the movie? I mean, come on.
Yeah. Cheddar Wizard.
It's the Leaning Tower of Jesus.
Jesus.
So, kids, ask your parents what Pauly Shore is.
Pauly Shore, yeah.
Okay, this is the dumbest thing ever in DuckTales. So,
You need a
you need a key to get in. It's in Transylvania. Oh, and it's so hard to get. Where will I ever find this key? Oh dear me. Where's this key? Oh, it's right here. It's like, take a 10-second diversion, Uncle Scrooge. There, now you've got your key.
Eureka! To the mine.
And now,
Yeah, that was a weird little just.
I mean, it's a cool idea, but I feel like it could have been better. Like, the backtracking thing is cool, but now we can warp through this door. And this is a fun level, too.
Like I said, I'm learning all these skills. Like, rock smacking was not a thing I was intuitively picking up on.
You can also do that. I mean, anything that's like an object on the ground like this, usually smack and get something out of it.
Yeah.
This is the most maze-like one, I think. Yeah, I mean, this game is super acclaimed. It sold like almost 2 million copies. Everybody with an NES in this era played it and liked it. I think it was like one of the bigger games for the NES, even though DuckTales was on the wane in 1989 and 1990. People still love this game so much. And there's a sequel too, which is also on the collection that nobody has played, which is why it's one of the more expensive NES games for collectors, because nobody cared about the NES in 1993.
Oh man, it came out in 93?
Yeah, that and Rescue Rangers 2. I guess it was like, okay, maybe you're a kid and you inherited your bigger brother's NES or whatever, or you just didn't upgrade yet. Here's some games, and they're okay. Nobody played them. There's Mrs. Beakley?
Yeah, he's
Okay.
dropping all them treats.
Yeah. I guess in the Japanese version, the life power-ups were hamburgers. So here's a fun thing to do.
Oh yeah, look at Bob's skills.
I have played this a lot.
This is why we brought him on this stream.
So here's a secret treasure, I think? Yeah. So there are 2 hidden treasures in the entire game. I think you need both of those to get the secret ending, which I'm not getting on this stream, just so you know. But that's just one of the criteria for getting the good ending, the super good ending. Oop. And I think this level scared me as a kid for some reason, so I would have my sister play through it if I could help it. I was like, can you read the lines for me?
Interesting, like what scares us as kids.
Yeah, I don't know why this scares. Like, this music is too jazzy.
Yeah, there would be like just random. Oh, the Slug King man.
I mean, why did Transylvania not scare me, but the mines scared me? I don't know.
Maybe you just don't want to be underground.
Could be like claustrophobic or something. I don't believe in ghosts.
Everybody's psychoanalyzed Bob and why he's afraid of the mines level on DuckTales.
I was aware of the diamond trade, and I was against it.
I was very
As a
afraid of the scene in Home Alone 2 where the guy gets electrocuted and becomes a skeleton for like a second.
Oh, okay.
Like,
You never played Street Fighter when Blanca would do that?
I thought that was cool. I think it was his scream that really,
it's
like, it's blood curdling, and he's a skeleton, and I'm like, he's dead, and then he's fine, and I'm like,
Was
like,
that one of
we
the Wet
watched
Bandits?
someone die, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's hard. It's actually, as an adult, it's hard to go back and watch Home Alone. It's like, that man is seriously hurt.
Yeah, is he okay?
His spine is severed.
Yeah.
Someone help him.
Yeah, because they're like, they have him like fall hard and stuff. It's like the situation is cartoony, but like it's like bad. Yeah, it's like, oh, he lit his head on fire, then he dunked it in a toilet of gasoline. And you're like, oh no.
They really stepped up the violence. I mean, if you go back to the first Home Alone, you'll be alarmed that maybe 10 minutes of the entire movie is that all the stuff you remember. I mean, it's not a huge chunk of the movie, but I think Home Alone 2, they tried to do more with the cartoon violence.
The whole last 40 minutes
Yeah.
is like that thing.
They're just piles of burned skin at the end.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of a puzzle here. You have to find Gizmo Duck's remote control
Gizmo Duck.
to blow open a hole in something. I forget what, but I don't quite remember offhand where it is, but we'll find it. These levels aren't that big.
So I was like way more a Darkwing Duck fan than I was
Oh.
a Ducktales fan.
Me too, but I love DuckTales
Yeah,
as well.
It was great, but like obviously you can't have Darkwing Duck without Ducktales. Like,
Yeah.
like
Although
major characters are from Ducktales.
the creator last year, the creator of the creator of Darkwing Duck, Tad Stones, confirmed that DuckTales and Darkwing Duck exist in different universes.
Really?
So the Launchpad in one universe became Uncle Scrooge's assistant, and in another universe he became Darkwing Duck's pilot. So
They can't have a
figure that out.
crossover because
No.
they're not the same thing. They would have to have like a Doctor Who kind of episode.
Yeah, I mean, when Darkwing Duck started, I'm like, where's Uncle Scrooge? Did he die? Is that why Launchpad has a new job? They never explored that. That was left on the table. And actually, Darkwing Duck, we'll get to this, but the concept originally started out as a Launchpad show called 00 Duck. And basically...
Key to the UFO.
Yes, all UFOs have keys, but it was going to be a James Bond parody, but they couldn't use the term 00, so they scrapped most of that, and they sort of made it more of a Batman, the Shadow kind of thing with a new character. So...
Interesting. All right.
Ask me about all your Disney questions.
ask your Disney trivia, and also like I want to hear from you guys. What was your favorite Disney afternoon cartoon? We're getting nostalgic in here. It's Throwback
Yeah.
Thursday.
It can't be Bonkers, okay? Let's put that on the table
Can't
right
be
now.
Bonkers, man.
Nobody's favorite cartoon is Bonkers.
And
I watched the entire run of Bonkers probably like 8 times.
I would watch that like every day and be like, I want to like this. I should like this. Like I love Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and
There you go.
they're taking the concept, and like that's great to like expand on that world. And it's like, but it just wasn't good.
That you pointed that out, Jack, and that's true. I mean, it was going to be a Roger Rabbit show, and you can't do anything with Roger Rabbit unless Steven Spielberg's involved, and he didn't want to get involved. So that's why they had to sort of make it into a more generic character.
Yeah,
That's kind of the
it
same
felt
character.
like a ripoff. It was like,
it's like there's a Toontown, and this guy's a cop
Yeah.
now, but yeah, it's not great.
but like, not featuring any of the famous characters
Yeah.
from the movies. Like nobody. But it also was weird because it didn't translate because they were like the humans were also cartoons.
Yeah, it was hard.
So it was like yeah, I mean Jessica Rabbit was a cartoon human, but she didn't pretend she was human.
And she might have been the only cartoon human. I think Betty Boop was in that movie too,
Mm-hmm.
but there are very few cartoon humans with the regular humans. Yeah, in fact, they couldn't use any characters. There's one episode of Bonkers. I'm incriminating myself by saying this on a stream, but there's one episode of Bonkers where Mickey Mouse goes missing, but they can't say his name or show him. So at the end, it's just basically his arm waving like, "Goodbye, Bonkers, thanks." It's like I think they call him the Mouse in that episode. So there was some
Wow.
serious rights issues, like you cannot use Mickey Mouse on your dumb Bonkers show.
Yeah.
Don't even think about it. Who do you think you are?
But like I mean they're both bad. But what's worse era of Bonkers when he has the detective partner or the cop partner?
I prefer Lucky Pickell to Miranda Wright. I
Alright.
think they played off each other better. So, more Disney trivia. That show had production problems. The original director left, and I think the original concept was Bonkers with the female cop Miranda Wright. After that guy left, they restarted the show internally and gave him more of a God, what's the guy's name in Roger Rabbit?
Eddie Valiant.
Eddie Valiant. Eddie
that
Valiant.
is,
Yeah. They gave him more of an Eddie Valiant type to play off of, and I like those more. Yeah, I'm an adult man with Bonkers preferences, so
yeah.
just putting that out
they're
there.
correct answers
Yeah.
to the Bonkers.
That's the objective truth. You cannot like the Miranda Wright episodes more than the Lucky Pickell ones. I'm sorry, everybody. I will say offensive things like that on the stream.
Yeah.
I won't apologize.
At least you know their names. I'm like,
Yeah.
Lady Cop or like Fat Guy. Which one was
Come on,
worse?
Jack. What are you putting in your brain? You need to know these things.
I know. I have a lot
I got
of
our second treasure. I forgot it was
nice.
even there.
All right, there you go.
Not even trying. I think we might actually get the secret ending.
Snap.
Maybe. Who knows?
So Later Niles says Darkwing Duck is the best one. So correct. You can stay in the stream. Frumpy was like Tailspin the best. Tailspin, I grew to appreciate.
I think it's the.
Found it boring at the time.
I think it's like the thinking man's Disney afternoon cartoon because it was a concept that no kid should have enjoyed. Like, what if we take Baloo from the Jungle Book and put him in a 1930s adventure serial, and take place in that era specifically? Like every kid loves the 30s. It's a weird idea, but it somehow worked. I don't know.
Yeah, it was like certainly the best Jungle Book show. Better than Jungle Cubs.
Oh, they did make that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, what was
Yeah.
Jungle Cubs?
Jungle Cubs.
Was it animated, like 2D animation?
It was animated. It was like, what if they were all? It was Muppet Babies for Jungle
okay.
Book. So it was like, I guess when they were all kids, they were all friends, including Shere Khan and Ka, and they all just hang out. They basically all just hang out in the King Louis like
Why can't Shere Khan
temple
be
area,
nicer?
and they are like, "Meh, I don't want to share my bananas," and like they have dumb.
That's like Looney Tunes
problems.
Babies or whatever they made.
Yeah,
too.
Baby Looney Tunes is like that
Poison?
one's so bad because it's directly a ripoff of Muppet Babies.
Oh,
they're just
yeah,
like
20 years later.
they're in a little thing. Yeah, but it's like way too late, and for a thing that doesn't make sense. Like, awful.
I don't know why the Beagle Boys are on the moon, but no one has problems breathing, apparently.
It's like that's like a very cartoon thing, right? Except for we know that Scrooge McDuck needs to wear a space helmet because he does it in the opening credits.
When an alien
And
steals
alien
a
steals a
dollar.
dollar.
Yep, who knows?
And the
But,
alien can go to like some currency exchange on their planet for that dollar. But
This boss looks so cool. I love this design so much. This moon
nice.
rat.
It looks like a Battletoads like bad guy.
Man. What did I do wrong? Let's try that again. This is the
Oh, now
glory
we
of
can
the
test
rewind
the
feature.
rewind. That rewind goes back pretty far.
I think you can go back to like the beginning of your playthrough almost. Do I not pogo on his spines or something? Is that how it works? Maybe.
The entire game has taught you that you can pogo on spines and they won't hurt you. There's been multiple spiky parts.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, the Game Boy version of this guy might be different. I'm used to just pogoing on any part of his body.
His head. All right.
You gotta do his head though. There we go.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna get to the last level, which is actually
Got that-
Transylvania
That
again.
moon cheese.
Yeah. Valuable moon cheese. No, I'm not gonna get the special ending. I was reading that wrong. Oh well.
Oh, King's Indian asks, Nick from the UK asks, was there a Gummy Bears game? Already answered in the chat, but no, there is unfortunately not a Gummy Bears game. A travesty.
Yeah, I mean, it could
It
have
would
been
have
a
been
great
fun.
game.
I mean, like, you look at this, like, Scrooge bounces here and there and everywhere. It could have worked as a game concept.
He doesn't have gummy berry juice, so here's the plot twist, guys. You never saw it coming.
Ah.
Dracula Duck has stolen all of your treasures. How did he do it? I don't know. Who is he? Even better question. But we're gonna fight him now back in Transylvania, which is kind of a lame way to end the game. The remastered version actually added a new final level, but in this version, you go back to Transylvania and that's it. And I forget what you do.
I like that you were joined by your 3 nephews, Huey, Dewey, and Huey again.
Huey,
because
Dewey,
we
and
don't
we
have
ran out
blue.
of colors. Yeah. Oh well, can't win them all. There's Webigail. Help! Huey's been kidnapped. Yeah, same dialogue as the first time through the stage. I kind of forget where you go to find Dracula Duck. We'll figure it out. So yeah, I love how you can comically dispatch some enemies, which there wasn't a lot of humor in NES games. I like how they bake in some humor into like, I'm gonna whack that guy's ball and chain at him, and then like a funny duck corpse flies out of it. So we are gonna fight Count Dracula Duck. I think we just go back to the boss room of the original boss. I think that's where you find him.
That makes sense.
And it's not a great boss fight, but you do have like a little race at the end, which is cool. So let's go this way. Illusion wall. And I think it's this one. Yeah, not the best way to end this game. I think they just ran out of time or money or space, but
Yeah, it's like memory issues, right?
go back
Like,
to this random stage because Dracula. Yeah, sure, it's Dracula. Don't hit me. Oh.
I think that it's not even like Count Duckula, it's Dracula Duck.
Yeah.
Like,
And here he is. I think. Yep.
yay!
Alucard.
He looks like it would be fun if he was actually like, it's me, Donald. I was just wanted to be involved.
You wondered why I wasn't on the show. I became a vampire. So it's a little trickier than normal, but this is all he does. Basically, just warps around the room. You have to jump off of his bats, and then you race Flintheart Golem Gold to the top, and the game ends.
Oh yeah. the other Scottish duck.
Yeah. Hey, there's room for two.
2 old Scottish
Yeah.
ducks in your show. What's this one? He likes money. Oh, okay.
He likes money more.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got the better name, I think. He's got a heart of flint, and he likes to have gold. Glom gold.
Makes sense.
Not glum gold, glom gold.
Glom gold.
Come on, people.
Glom's on the gold.
I'm sorry, this has some tricky timing to it, so...
Oh my gosh. So I love that the chat is mostly talking about cartoons. And someone was asking about raw tunage.
Oh, okay. That's where Marsupilami comes from.
So E.C. Myers says that like raw tunage was on CBS, but the character Marsupilami appeared in some of the Disney Afternoon bumpers, and Disney Afternoon characters appeared on raw tunage, but they are separate things.
And I think
I loved Marsupilami. I like had those Belgian comics.
Okay, I was gonna say, is it French or something? Because it looks like a French thing.
It's a Belgian comic. So yeah, so it's in French. From like a long time ago. One of those comics that have been going like forever. So it was like from the 40s on.
Wow.
And you know, a little bit racist. They took out the human part of Marsupilami. It was mostly about like hunters trying to find him, and he was just kind of like. And he had a whole family and all these kids and things, and they took all that too. They just had him go, "Hula!" and like had him gorilla.
Did he talk?
He would talk he talks in both the comic and the show.
Okay. Man, I'm sorry this is taking so long. I think I just need one.
Come on, man.
It's a battle against tedium when you're fighting Count Dracula Duck. Bam. Okay.
Oh man, Disney Adventures magazine.
I had that, yeah. I read a bunch of that. That's where I read the comic Bone for the first time. They reprinted it in Disney Adventures.
Right, that's where I read Bone for the first time too.
In color.
Yeah.
Oh no, can we possibly do this? They made this way too hard in the remastered version, by the way. It sucks. I really hate that version.
It's not just climbing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have to climb and do a bunch of jumps, and then if you fail, you have to fight the last boss again.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah.
So that's the end of Ducktales. I didn't get the good ending. I just got the regular ending.
Is it just a bigger treasure chest?
It's like just a giant pile of money.
Okay.
And he still jumps up and down. Daring explorer.
Scrooge remains the richest duck in the world.
I'm an expert treasure hunter. I think you get dialogue with him and the nephews in the good ending. Oh no, it's here right now.
Here they are.
Hooray, Uncle Scrooge, we're glad you found the treasures, but don't forget, we help too. Yes, the greatest treasure is children.
Yes.
You gave me the worst hints, you guys. Come on. Give me some more dialogue. He's gonna say something, I swear. Right, lads.
I couldn't have done it without. Couldn't have done it like.
Couldn't
that's
have
all one
done it
without.
without
I
you.
couldn't have done it without.
Little clumsy, but we learned that there's no money is great, but family is what really matters in DuckTales. So that's the end of DuckTales.
Woo!
Yay, we did it. I told you I could do it. So we're gonna actually exit out.
Right,
of
like a
DuckTales.
little like clap for Bob. It was true.
Put clap emojis in
clap
the
emojis
chat.
in the things.
Should we? What should we go to next? I mean, so I'll go through all the games on here. There's DuckTales.
Yeah, tell us what you want next, guys.
Rescue Rangers. There's Tailspin, Darkwing Duck, DuckTales 2, and Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers 2. Is anybody in the chat requesting anything?
It'll be a few seconds
That's right, the
before
lag,
they actually like.
I want to
there.
do Darkwing Duck. I
I
had
think
this
we
game.
definitely should do Darkwing Duck. Darkwing Duck was what people were liking there. I also want to see one of the Chip and Dales.
Oh sure, the first one is the better one. But yeah, Darkwing Duck is basically like a kind of a better Mega Man.
Darkwing Duck.
Darkwing Duck, okay.
A better Mega Man.
Yeah, I mean, he controls like Mega Man, except he can duck. He can block shots with his cape. Yes, exactly. He is a duck and he can duck, and he can also hang from things. So he has a lot more of like utility than Mega Man. Yay!
Yay!
This is really cool too. Not the longest opening, but we get a cool Darkwing Duck face soon. That's so cool.
Yes.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Look at him, he's like, let's get dangerous.
This is really expensive. That's the Capcom difference.
Yeah.
So yeah, again.
Oh, there it is.
Like Mega Man, like DuckTales, like other games that they made, you can select up 3 levels at a time, I think, in the beginning. And once you beat those, there's another tier of levels that opens up. So you don't have all of the levels at once, but you still have some choice when you start the game.
Does it feature the like villains from the show?
Every villain I think is in this. Well, the major villains. I don't know if they make up one boss, Wolfman Duck.
Wolfman Duck.
Wolf Duck
yeah.
or something. He was
Sure.
never in the show, but like Liquidator, Megavolts, Quackerjack, Bushroots, Steelbeak. I'm trying to think who else is in this game. And a few others. There's probably like 8 levels in this game. So this is a great looking game. 92 NES. The Super Nintendo was out, so this is a very, very good looking game. It's very purple.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what? I don't like how I did that. It's also a little harder than Mega Man because you can only take 4 hits. But you can do all kinds of cool stuff like this. Have you played this before, Jack?
I have not played this before.
Oh, it's really good. It's a little tough, though. And the bonus levels are pretty cool if I remember. If I can get to one, I'll show it off. So yeah, this is a... Mega Man can't do this.
That.
So yeah, there's a lot of climbing, a lot of hanging. You have your gas gun, of course. You can also block shots like this, and duck. So, I mean, Darkwing Duck is the one Disney character I can think of that has a gun. But it's a gas gun, so
Gas
everything's
gun,
fine, even though in this game it kind of kills people.
They just got friendly gassed off the side of that skyscraper.
There's
Fine.
nothing harmful about being gassed. You can recover from that.
Just get a little dizzy.
This is pretty intense for a first level.
Yeah, seriously.
So you have to like sort of do that, and I think if I fall in here I can...
Ah, yes, those Robo-Turtles from the show.
Very famous. I mean, they do make up a lot of stuff, but I think it fits within the world, or in a Mega Man game. I think those spikes are insta-kill just like a Mega Man as well, so you wanna not step on the spikes. But so much of this game is just basically Mega Man, which that's great. He even makes the same sound when he lands, like the little cricket noise. These enemies are straight out of Mega Man.
So now we're talking about Darkwing Duck toys, which
Oh, those
yes,
are good.
I had all of those.
Oh my god,
and
all of them.
Negavolt was the
He really fired electricity.
yeah, he had a little spark on his chest. You flick the little thing on his back. It was
Oh,
just like
really?
they embedded basically
Like,
like a Zippo lighter thing. So
Wow.
like it was that wheel, you would like flick it.
Keep
and
away
it would
from
go
gas, kids.
It had a little plastic guard over it, but it would just make little sparks. And I
Wow.
thought it was the coolest
That is
thing.
cool.
Yeah.
I was more into video games than toys because I was like, I could spend money on games instead of toys. It's a better investment. But I was jealous of those toys. I was like, I want all of them. I wanted the Thunderquack. Was that his plane? The Thunderquack?
So
I think his motorcycle was the Ratcatcher and the plane was the Thunderquack. But they did make the plane, and now I think it's really hard to find and really expensive if you want one. If you want to buy your childhood back, if you're a sad man in your 30s like me, you need to shell out.
Oh my gosh, we have trivia coming in here. E.C. Myers is apparently also a
Ooh,
expert in these.
cool.
Megavolt's real name is Elmo Sputterspark. He went to high school with Darkwing. I believe that. You could be making that up, but I believe it.
I'm sure he had an origin story. He's actually voiced by Dan Castellaneta, which is why he kind of sounds like Krusty the Clown.
Yeah.
So here's Quackerjack. I like his sprite. He's
Yes.
got those big stupid teeth. And kind of an easy boss, but watch me mess it up totally. You kind of just have a small window of time to shoot him. But it's a nice little pattern. And Mr. Banana Head, I think this guy's name is. I don't know. He had like a weird, like little doll he carried around that he talked to that wasn't real, but he thought it was. If you're in the chat, let me know what Quackerjack's little friend was called. I think it is Mr. Banana Head.
Mr. Banana Head. Mr. Poopy Butthole.
Mr. Poopy Butthole. Oh wee!
Let's see here.
So yeah, this is an easy boss, probably the easiest boss in the game. Oh yeah, the other.
Myers says use the heavy gas when he's below you.
Oh, I forgot. You know what? He's almost dead. So.
But
Thanks for the tip, though. The other villain in this game, I just remembered, is Moriarty.
yes.
Which he was not in the show a lot. I think they used him like once or twice. You fight him in one level.
I think that was like. It was with Darkwing Duck. It was always about like who was your favorite villain. It was like the Rogues Gallery was like what the show's about. I remember like you'd get to an episode and you'd be like, Oh, this is gonna be a Bushroot episode. Like, ugh.
I did like Megavolt. I did like Negaduck. I did like Quackerjack.
Mr. Banana Brain.
Mr. Banana Brain. Thank you. Thank you. I am ashamed now.
Stop making room for like new knowledge.
I need to know every Darkwing Duck character. I can't think about politics or anything like that.
Yeah, actually, it's kind of bugging me that I'm trying to think of names and I'm like, what was that guy's name? So now I'm gonna pull up our wiki. I bet
Mr. Banana Brain has like 2,000 words on our wiki.
Probably.
Political beliefs. Mr.
Tauros
Banana Brain is a
Bulba.
libertarian.
That's right.
Tauros Bulba, yeah. He was in the pilot episode. I think he came back as a sort of a Terminator style character.
Yeah,
too.
he got like the iron jaw thing on it. But yeah, definitely was a big fan of Liquidator.
Oh, Liquidator was great.
There.
He was a waterman that talked like a salesman.
Yeah. Oh man, there's so many. And they also just had like so many like one-off ones and like weird episodes.
I was looking up some of the one-offs. There was one I remember is Splatter Phoenix. I don't know if you know who that is. That was this crazy goth artist that could make paintings come to life with her brush. And
wow.
in one episode, they were like chasing each other through different paintings in an art gallery. It was really cool.
That's cool.
So I know you really want the arrow
yeah.
gas. Let's try that again.
This was also the first show I remember where I was like, this kind of went off the rails. Like, Darkwing travels to a planet of superheroes, and you're like, and then outgrows a solar system, and you're like, what?
There were some weird ones. There was like a time travel one where they went back in time. Maybe I'm thinking of Goof Troop. They went back in time and had to like race dinosaurs. It's like, did a freelancer write this?
Yeah. They would do all these like really major things to Darkwing as a character. They'd be like, now Darkwing's a dinosaur, and you're like, okay, that's a thing, I guess. Like, and then like, by the end of the episode, it was fine. You're like,
yeah, that was bizarre. I mean, one of my favorites that I remember is one where Darkwing Duck goes blind. He's blinded, and the entire episode is him like learning to cope with a disability. But I mean, he gets his sight back by the end, which is, you know, of course he's going to. But it was kind of like an interesting study of his character. Like, we're gonna blind our character for this episode. Come on, I hate that guy. All right.
oh, this game is cruel.
It is.
It's like placement of your character and enemies.
It's short and it's kind of mean, but it's very well made. I really hate these dogs. So, what I remember about this game is you really want the arrow gas, because you can build platforms and stuff like that, and I think it's very powerful against bosses. I haven't seen that power up yet in this stage. I don't know where you find it, but I think I can... No. I thought maybe I could shoot him through the wall, but this game is too smart.
Oh man. Some gator dude.
He's wearing a leather jacket.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Later Niles says he remembers an episode where they go back in time and for some reason they have roads and cars, but the tires are made of stone and the roads are made of rubber.
That's it. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, I was not a fan of that. I mean, there would always be like one bizarre episode. It's like, who wrote this and why? Like, there's an episode of Goof Troop where, where Goofy gets turned into a fly. And I'm like, this sucks. I hate this episode. Whenever it came up in rotation, I'm like, I don't want this. I didn't sign on for this.
This mean sewer kangaroo.
Yeah, throwing basketballs?
Yeah, you know.
That's what they do. That guy just trying to get to his job or something.
Yeah, he's just late to work. He totally avoided you.
Let's see if I can... Okay. But can I come... I hope that platform comes back. Oh, good. I don't really need an extra life because I'm streaming, but just the force of habit.
Oh, apparently you missed the air gas at the beginning.
Aw. I knew it was in this level. Darkwing is vibrating violently.
Yeah.
Like, what do I... That's unfair. That's unfair. What do I even do there to avoid those shots?
Get arrow gas.
Oh wait, I can do this.
Ah.
I forgot. Yeah, these levels are pretty devious. Again, they were made for 1991 children, 1992 children. And I hate to sound like a You know, we walked 2 miles
Kids
uphill in the
these
snow.
days.
We didn't have checkpoints like you kids do.
Or instructions, even.
Well, we had a book we had to read.
Yeah.
Can you imagine reading a book to learn how to play a Nintendo game?
Yeah.
That's the hell we grew up in.
Assuming that you didn't get it used or rent it, and so they didn't have the book, and
But
so
they
you
had
just
the fake video store instructions that they
yeah.
got everything wrong. Like, yeah, jump around or something. I don't know.
it'd be for some other game. You'd be like, "What are you talking about?" You're like, "Guide Fester through the house of it." You're like, "Oh, wait a minute."
All right, here we go. Here's Liquidator.
Apparently, at the end of that episode, Darkwing tells them to switch their roads and tires, and it blows everyone's mind.
And that's
He
where roads
invents
come
cars.
from. How did he go
Yeah,
back in time?
Liquidator.
Come on, dude. I think I have to get him while his little fish friends are out. Oop. Oh man. Jeez, oh man, I forgot about those guys. Alright, let's rewind a bit. I feel good about that one. Water birds. Water fish, water birds.
He was always the villain that would get like defeated in like the dumbest way. You'd be like, ah, like
Attacked by a mob.
throw cement at him.
That's
You're
true.
like, "Alright."
Oh, the birds are back.
The episode where Negaduck
Oh,
steals all their powers and becomes like,
oh, that was intense.
yeah, I was like, what? Like that blew my mind as a kid. Because at the time I was also starting to get into like comic books, and so I was like, this is some like proper comic book shit.
Yeah, they did some real superhero kind of things on their show for sure. Should I move on from Darkwing?
Yeah,
We've seen a few
we got
levels.
some Darkwing. Let's like, we got
Yeah.
a couple more games we definitely want to show. Hear me out. Pover over on Twitch is saying that he thinks that these Disney shows should be more readily accessible. They're not streaming,
I agree.
and that you can only buy entire seasons, and they're really expensive to buy. And I'm totally with you. It is kind of ridiculous, like that. Like if you want some Ducktales, it's like
Buy the DVDs. That's basically
DVDs,
it. Yeah.
and they're like $30 a season or something really absurd. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I don't get why it's like, here's all of this on Netflix or Hulu. I would pay for it just to watch a few old cartoons, and I feel like, yeah, these shows are not in circulation, which is probably why you don't see them in Kingdom Hearts or anything like that, or like merchandise. I'm like, they are missing out. I feel like this is the first attempt to cash in on this kind of nostalgia, really.
yeah, so they definitely did like a few years back. Like the Darkwing Duck shirt I have is from like a Hot Topic.
Oh,
they
really?
They did
Okay.
like a line
I haven't been in a Hot Topic in a while.
Disney afternoon things in Hot Topic for a while, and they had there was like Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers and Tailspin and Goof Troop and Darkwing. And so that was kind of cool, but that was, you know, just like, oh, you can have a t-shirt. I remember like I had a Tailspin shirt on and I went to Disneyland, and it made Belle break character.
Oh, jeez.
Like,
And she was fired instantly.
oh my gosh, she recovered so gracefully. She just kind of like she like walked up. It was this like lunch thing where they would like walk around by the tables and like say hi, like coming through the cafe. And she comes over and she just goes, "Oh my God, Tailspin!" And then it just goes, and like, I read that book to Chip all the time, and like moves
We never
along.
had this conversation.
And I was like, oh man.
Two goofies in police uniforms came out and dragged her away.
Yeah.
No. So yeah,
That
here
was
we are
an
with Rescue Rangers.
unlicensed crossover reference.
So yeah, this is a fun game. I think it was really inspired by the American Mario 2 because there's a lot of picking up objects, throwing them.
Yes, what was that game actually called?
Doki Doki Panic.
There we go.
And you can also hide like Solid Snake.
Nice. Dale was the original Solid Snake.
Of course I chose Dale because this is 420. He's a party animal.
420.
Look at this Hawaiian shirt he's
Yeah.
wearing.
He's so wacky. I was always a Chip fan. I always liked the like stuck up leader of the team.
Ah.
Leonardo, like Cyclops. Like Chip.
Chip was really, he had a chip on his shoulder, everybody.
Yeah, chip up his ass.
Weirdly enough, it's like Chip is dressed like Indiana Jones and Dale is dressed like Magnum PI, so these are all choices they made, which I think are just totally lost to people today. Like, nobody remembers Magnum PI.
Nope,
I'm sure that's on Hulu, though.
Probably, right? Yeah.
But yeah, I did watch a lot of Rescue Rangers, too. And Gadget was a formative moment for many young furries.
Yes, for sure. I think
you can cite Gadget as how people found that path.
Yeah,
I'm not being judgy, but Gadget is sort of the gateway furry drug.
It's fine. It's
for 90s kids.
That's an important part of every generation's culture. It's like
which furry character did it for you?
Yeah, like we're about to in 12 years or so, we're gonna have people who are just like, yep, Zootopia, and everybody's gonna be like, Zootopia, like that. Yep.
I can see that for sure being the next gateway furry drug.
Yeah, which is good because honestly, for better or worse, this is more of a thing of a character design. The Disney Afternoon had nice character design, mostly based on previous characters, but you kind of if you are someone who likes these cartoons, you can still feel proud about it. Whereas kind of the last decade of cartoons, American television cartoons, you're kind of gonna be like, yeah, I don't know, unless it's Adventure Time or something that
Steven Universe, yeah.
Because Steven Universe, but that's before that, man, Johnny Test, Danny Phantom.
There's a lot of weird teen shows that I was too old for that didn't look that good.
I liked Kim Possible a lot.
I'm sure it was fine. Actually, that show did look good, but the thing about these shows is historically, they had a lot of money. This was the 80s, and they were throwing this money at Japanese animation studios who were very expensive at the time. Afterwards, they would go to Korea and places like that, but they were getting people who made really good-looking anime to animate Ducktales, to animate Rescue Rangers, which is why those shows still look very, very good.
Right.
And nothing will ever look better than them on TV.
Yeah, and that's why Tiny Toons looks so radically different.
Yes. Between
each episodes, because they shipped it out to 4, maybe 6 different animation studios of differing qualities.
Oh yeah, everyone has a different look.
And they all it's weird. You put all the Busters side by side,
yeah,
it's weird.
These ones have weird faces. Yeah, I mean, I think every show would use different studios, but they would be more consistent on Disney, I think, in terms of how the characters would look. When I was going through DuckTales a few years ago, watching the DVDs that I own, by the way, they don't come cheap, people. I was like, oh, these episodes, some of them look a little better, but I can never be like, oh, well, that's that studio and that's that studio. So I think there was a little more internal consistency on the Disney stuff.
Yep. Amanda on Facebook says these games remind her of the Aladdin and Lion King games, which for sure, those are my jam when it comes to old Disney games.
Well, the eternal question is, Jack, Aladdin for SNES or Genesis? There is a right answer, and you got it wrong. I'm sorry.
What?
It's
you
SNES.
You like SNES?
Yes.
That's good. You like easy games?
History. I'm sorry, but history will prove me correct.
I'm pretty sure everyone agrees with me.
History has really come around on. Okay, I respect your choice.
I think we should put them side by side and play them.
Genesis one looks better, but I think the SNES one plays better.
The SNES one was nice because I could beat it.
Yeah, yeah.
And the Genesis one.
Oh, it's hard. It's a hard game.
Infuriate me. Would make me so angry. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my only problem with the Genesis game, aside from its difficulty, is that it was made by a developer who made a lot of kinds of that game. So things like Cool Spot and Earthworm Jim all kind of play like Aladdin. You're just a slippery character, going up diagonally through these spindly levels. I just feel like that was fun once, but I feel like all of their games sort of play like that.
Kind of do, yeah. The Cave of Wonders level. That's kind of where I lose it.
Yeah, it's hard on the SNES one too.
Yeah.
The Genesis one, the prison level, I think was really hard. Is there a prison level?
Yeah, okay. That's the right before or right after Cave of Wonders. There's a prison. Probably points out that the Genesis Aladdin sounds terrible.
Oh,
even though
of course,
it looks good.
Of course.
Yeah, all Genesis games sound pretty terrible.
And do you know who directed the SNES Aladdin game?
Don't.
It's pretty interesting. Shinji Mikami, creator of Resident Evil.
Nice.
And things like Vanquish and The Evil Within. That was one of his first games he directed, was SNES Aladdin. And Goof Troop, actually. He was a Disney guy at Capcom for a while.
That's awesome.
So I stand by it.
Alright. I'll have to go give SNES Aladdin a chance.
I will still
I'll go.
talk to you in the office, Jack.
All right, it's fine. We can still be friends.
You lost so much respect. I'm not like that.
I was always like, when we had like the console wars, I was like, I guess I'm the Genesis kid because that's what I own. But like my friend had a SNES and we just like would like go and, is that a ninja flying squirrel?
That's great. That's a Japanese touch. You can
incredible.
tell where this game was made. Just like in the Simpsons arcade game.
That character might be better than any actual character on Rescue Rangers.
I think you're right. I love that, like, in the Japanese Simpsons arcade game, there is a level where you fight a samurai as a boss. They're completely made up by them, but they're like, no, this game's made in Japan. We're going to show you in this level. There was never a samurai on The Simpsons.
No. Otherwise, that game is totally true to the show.
Yes. It's more faithful than any other Simpsons game of that era.
That's true, man. I had a Bart versus the Space Mutants.
Oh,
the
God.
one that was like them.
I podcasted about that recently, and dear Lord, never again.
Yeah.
Play that
Spray
game.
paint all the things.
Yeah.
Purple. Like, oh god.
And that'll be the most interesting thing you ever do in that game, because every level after that is like, just collect things in these horrible levels. You ran out of ideas.
Yeah.
Just collect things, please.
Get on the terrible skateboard interstitial parts.
Ugh. Yeah, bad game. The Simpsons arcade game, though, I do stand by. It looks beautiful. It plays extremely well for what it is, and it is surprisingly faithful, believe it or not, to the show. It's weird that a group of Japanese developers who presumably didn't even see the show somehow got it right when Americans couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, it was nice. It had like a plot that could have made sense.
Yeah, Smithers is a diamond thief, presumably stealing from Mr. Burns. Who knows?
Yeah.
There she is, everybody.
Hey, what's
there she
up?
is, boys.
It's so funny. In my circle, Monterey Jack is the trigger.
Oh, I
People
see.
were like, "When did you, like?" People were like, "I didn't know what bears were until I saw a mouse."
Oh my
And we were
god,
like,
I mean, I never thought of that, but
Yeah.
no, you're totally right.
Yeah.
Like, I just want Monterey Jack to hold me and talk about
Yeah,
cheese.
right?
He's an odd character, Monterey Jack. It's like, what is he, like an Australian cheese-obsessed adventurer? Is that what his deal is? Is he
Yeah.
Australian?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Something. Another kangaroo. Just throw them
Hey.
weird, mean kangaroos into these Disney games.
Like, is he pulling
This
these-
one plays tennis. They're all so athletic.
I know. Excuse me. They take more than one hit to kill, too. Why are they so small?
Yeah, you're right.
I'm a
They're
chipmunk.
You're small even for a chipmunk. But
That's
yeah,
true, yeah.
These are
Man, I'm
the
annoyed by
world's
this.
tiniest
Jeez.
kangaroos.
Okay. Any other questions coming in about Disney stuff or these games?
Not questions, but they're definitely chatting. Let's see. Oh man, they're talking about things I don't know about. Let's scroll up. Didn't pay attention, you guys. Why? The CC Lemon mascots.
Oh.
The Simpsons. Why are we making games based on the CC Lemon mascots?
true. They-
Konami.
They are, well, I mean, in the 90s, I guess, they were CC Lemon. That's a Japanese drink, I think. Those commercials are on the DVDs. You can watch them.
That's
or I think
awesome.
even on YouTube. They're probably on YouTube.
Then they were talking about Jim Cummings doing
Oh,
voices
yeah.
for those things, which now has led us to The New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, which I'm not
yeah.
sure was technically, it wasn't a Disney afternoon because it was an ABC Saturday morning cartoon.
Right, it was never
But
a
it
part of the
was-
afternoon, but I did watch a
I
lot
loved
of
that
it.
one.
I did like it too. I don't remember a lot of it, but I was a big Tigger fan.
Yes, it was.
As you should be.
Yeah. And it was like very Tigger centric. Also, really, so again, to go back, let's see if Frumpiors agrees with me. In the same way that I liked Chip and Leonardo and Cyclops, I also had like a soft spot for Rabbit.
Rabbit.
Like
Yeah,
you
he
shouldn't
was-
like Rabbit. He's just this like mean gay busybody.
He was
and-
coded as gay, wasn't he?
Oh,
It's
he's
like,
so gay.
Who's this? I like he had like anxiety too. He
Yeah, he's just like OCD thing, like, and no one was ever like like, hey, we should really like be respectful of our friend and neighbor who
Stop
clearly
eating his carrots.
who is clearly communicating his issues with us, and we are ignoring. It was always like, no, let Tigger do what he wants. Like,
Listen,
Tigger's fun at parties, Rabbit.
Yeah. He's our fun alcoholic friend that we keep around.
Yeah. Oh, like, who's got drugs? Tigger's got drugs.
We gotta put up with them, though.
Yeah. But, like, yeah, and then he, adopts a bird. He adopts, like, a runaway teen girl. Like, and finds, like, purpose in life.
I did like Piglet, too, how much of a wuss. He was sort of like the Millhouse of that show.
He really was. Piglet definitely was. Nick brings a boy. Rabbit wasn't a busybody. Everybody was always up in his business. That's true, right? People came into his house, ate his food, and then got stuck in his door. Like,
I mean, Pooh was a classic sociopath. He only thought in terms of his own needs and abandoned everyone else whenever he wanted honey.
Absolutely, like, just like no remorse for it ever.
Also, Christopher Robin was so boring. Like, he was just the kind of boring friend that brought them all to life, and they had to hang out with him. I don't think he ever brought any kind of humor to the show. Just like, I love you, Pooh. I'm such a lonely child.
Oh my god! So this nostalgia train is barreling down the tracks now because Frumpliors has now brought up, what was that live-action Alice in Wonderland show with the White Rabbit on roller skates? It was called Adventures in Wonderland.
It was Nightmare Fuel, right?
It was, yeah. It was like, what if, like, Alice was the only white person? Like, it was so weirdly 90s hip-hop. Like, it was like,
okay, you're talking, I was thinking
like
about the
Tweedledum
80s.
and Tweedledee were rappers, and the White Rabbit was on rollerblades the whole time.
Wow.
And the Queen was like...
So people were rapping, right?
Yeah,
there was some raps involved.
Tweedledee and Tweedledum would always rap. Instead of doing little... Because they did little rhymes, right? They always spoke in rhyme.
That's right.
So it made sense.
There's
yeah,
Tweedledee
it was...
and Tweedledum for the 90s.
Yeah. Adventures in Wonderland.
I totally missed this. It was live action, right?
Oh, it was live action. I gotta pull up the... I'll pull up the, like, opening credits for you so you can see who this was, but... Oh my gosh, what a weird show that was.
Wow. I assume I had to see some part of it at some point in my life. Oh, yeah. You know what? I did watch this.
Oh, the creepy makeup?
Yeah.
Oh, that freaked me out so much.
I mean, a friend of mine had the Disney Channel, and I think I did see a few episodes of this, and it might have given me nightmares. I don't remember.
Oh, the weird puppets. It was like a Jim Henson production, but like after Henson had died, so it was just kind of like...
We can do whatever we want.
They're like, yeah, here, it's a Muppet Cheshire Cat. And you're like, kinda. Wow, yeah. This is exactly how I remembered it. I forgot her dope tailcoats.
No, I don't want to see that thing.
Oh, the caterpillar was creepy as hell. The Queen was the best.
Yeah, I unfortunately have seen some of this show.
There
Speaking of white rabbits, right there.
Hey! Rolling up the carpet, what a jerk. Alright, let's turn that off. Assaulting everyone's ears with that.
God, these guys are jerks.
Ooh, and there was that live-action Winnie the Pooh where they were all in the Winnie the Pooh costumes.
That's the thing that scared me, I think.
I didn't like that either.
It was frightening.
Like, they were just so off. Like, Eeyore. I didn't like Eeyore.
No.
He was very weird looking. And he'd have that song where he'd, like, go up the hill and then just, like, fall back down. And you're like, oh, cool. Like...
So something was not quite right about those puppets when you saw them on that show.
Yeah.
This level's so much fun. So I think we're at a boss. Oh no, not yet. What time are we at? I should try one more game before
we're at
we get going.
12:07, so we could probably go for another, like, 20 minutes.
Let's do that, yeah. I can try a few of the other games after I beat this level. Do we have any other requests in chat now that we're... so we have Tailspin, Rescue Rangers 2, and Ducktales 2 are the ones we haven't played yet in this collection. So I think there are 6 games.
We should probably do Tailspin to round out the 4 shows represented, even though...
It's not good.
It's the worst one on here.
Yeah, I mean, there's a cool idea behind it, but it's not that great. The execution is pretty bad. I don't know why, but as a kid I found this game really hard, but it's not. I just would blaze through DuckTales, so I don't know what my deal was, but playing through it now, I'm like, oh, this isn't too bad. With rewind.
Yeah,
I
the
haven't used it
rewinding
that
is very
much.
nice. What are the flower things you're collecting?
You get 50 for an extra life, I think.
Got it,
Maybe.
okay.
Is there a boss here? Yeah, there's a boss. These bosses are pretty cool. Even though you do the same thing to fight all of them, basically.
This
Thank-
cherry ball.
Bullet hell. Ah! Alright. I have to hit his nipples, I think. Hit his glowing nipples. What?
Cheater.
What? I beat him? Wow.
Oh.
Interesting. Alright, let's go to Tailspin after I see what... Yes.
Woo!
Alright, so we're gonna go to Tailspin, which has a great opening song, but not a great game. Tailspin's song is so good. Actually, Tailspin was inspired by Miyazaki, so if you like Studio Ghibli movies, check out Tailspin. Not the game, but the series.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Tailspin was inspired by the manga that eventually became Porco Rosso, the movie. And Tailspin, the series, came out 2 years before Porco Rosso, so they sort of beat Miyazaki to the punch.
What always confused me about Tailspin was that it was like, okay, we've got the Jungle Book. So here's like Baloo, here's Shere Khan, here's King Louie. And then that's it.
Yeah.
Like, where are the rest of the characters? Like, where's Bagheera?
Where's Ka?
Like,
And, yeah. Well, okay, so here's the cool thing about Tailspin, is you can turn around. It's a shooter where you can turn around and fly upside down. And you're actually in the mini Sea Duck, not the Sea Duck, because it's small. So that's an important distinction to make.
yeah,
And it's also, this game is too hard, I think.
so hard.
The problem with this game is, like, you get treasure to upgrade your Sea Duck, but you start, it sucks. You fire one bullet at a time. You can't have more than one bullet on the screen. That's terrible. That does not feel good to play for a shooter. I like the idea so much, but man, I think I could beat the first stage when I rented this as a kid, and that was it. But it looks good. It's a late NES game. You just move too slow. You shoot one thing at a time. It's just like, kind of, it's the Dark Souls of shooters.
Yeah.
I'm only half kidding.
Unconfirmed, but that looked like that character sprite might be our third weird kangaroo of this stream.
Hey, it's a deep well in terms of what you can do with a kangaroo. See, that's what I hate.
Yeah,
I already fired my bullet, so I can't fire another one until it leaves the screen. This game is it's too hard. Too hard! And I move so slow!
Yeah. Yeah, they like zoom super fast. There you go. Yeah, they're like, you're not dodging. Like, you will be shooting.
You have to, like, know where your bullet will hit way in advance before you fire. It's a weird idea that doesn't really pan out great. So, so if you're good and smart, you can't really turn around that fast, but you're supposed to jump in here, turn around, and then turn around again, turn around, turn around. It's not reliable. It's not reliable. Okay. It's not reliable enough to do pull stuff off like that. This game gets weird too. I mean, there's a haunted house level. You fly through a giant haunted house.
Sure.
There's a baseball stadium where you fight a giant baseball at the end, just like in the show.
Just like in the show.
My favorite episode.
My favorite episode of Tailspin was the one where they contemplate genocide.
What?
Yeah. Pull up the name of that one.
There's one where you learn Baloo is illiterate, which is odd. He learns how to read because he has to become a skywriter. So that encourages him to learn how to read. But I was like, really? You're like a 40-year-old man, Baloo. This is sad. How can you raise Kid Cloud Kicker without
Kid Cloud Kicker?
It's a very 30 serial name. I gotta give him that. God, this boss is terrible.
Man, what was that episode? There was like...
I know that they had a parody of like Russia called Thembria, where everything sucked and it was always cold, and like the leader was this mad boar.
Yeah, there is that. There's also
It was 1990. You could still make fun of Russia, unlike today.
Yeah.
They're fine.
let's see. I think it's the band episode.
A band
There's
episode?
2 episodes of Tailspin that are banned.
Well, Tailspin, like, the planes were firing guns at each other.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there was definitely, like, violence. But there was one that, like, had a panda emperor guy that was just, like, super not okay, and they got
I think I remember that one.
But then there's another one where they trick Baloo. Baloo gets tricked into, like, delivering weapons for a terrorist organization.
Oh my god.
And it's like, what?
That's a little much.
But there's another one where these people, where, like, there's these refugees who, like, might have a disease.
Oh.
And they're like, I don't know if we should let them in. And you're like, whoa! Like,
that one I don't remember, but I had to have watched it at least 5 times. Your next destination is the baseball stadium. Watch out for anti-aircraft fire and lay off the hot dogs. Good advice, Rebecca.
Thanks, Bex.
You know, she's based on Rebecca from Cheers.
That makes sense.
The second sassy bar owner that Sam Malone had the hots for. What a weird, like, conflation of ideas. We have, not conflation, but arrangement of ideas. We have 1930 serials, we have Miyazaki, we have The Jungle Book, and we also have Cheers. They all went into making Tailspin. I'm done with Tailspin, Jack. I can't play this anymore.
Alright, we can be done with Chelsea. There he is.
Can we move on?
Baloo's gone.
Let's move on. Like, level 2 just kicks you right in the nuts, and it's all over. We can try DuckTales 2, maybe?
DuckTales 2. Let's do DuckTales 2.
It's not a really ambitious sequel, and the music sucks, but it's okay. It basically plays the same. Your cane can do some extra stuff in this game, and you can upgrade your cane, but it's basically just the same kind of game as DuckTales 1. Scotland. Let's go there.
That's where they all are in relation to each other, right?
I'm sure.
Scotland, Egypt, Niagara Falls.
Launchpad has a lot of dialogue.
Flit our Glomgolds after it.
So major problem with this dialogue that was not in DuckTales 1. Launchpad calls him Uncle Scrooge. That is not canon. Launchpad should call him Mr. McD.
Yeah.
Which he does in DuckTales 1. It's like, do you want to go back to Duckburg, Mr. McD? But he does not call Uncle Scrooge Uncle Scrooge. I hope someone was fired for that. See, look, he can do that now.
Nice.
Like Darkwing.
Some Disney, like, PR person. Just like, no.
And they usually keep a close watch. I don't know in '92, but now they definitely keep a close watch. Like I know people who work and have worked at Capcom, and they're like, "Oh, we want Uncle Scrooge at our booth for DuckTales." And Disney was like, "Okay, here are the rules. Uncle Scrooge cannot know he's in a video game. Uncle Scrooge has to exist in Duckburg. They're all that you can't break the reality. They're just like every character has their own set of rules about what you can and can't do with them. Like someone is watching this."
Yeah, I forget, like, last job we did partnerships with Disney for things where we'd make custom game content. And yeah, everything had these insane rules. And a lot of it was that, like you cannot do anything where the characters are not within their settings.
Yeah.
So, when we did the Zootopia one, we had to build a virtual Zootopia because, like, that's where they live. Like, do not put them anywhere else.
They cannot be in your game.
Okay. It was like,
yeah, and I think for that DuckTales thing, I think they had to build like a mini Duckburg for Scrooge just to be in, to appear. Like he couldn't appear at the Capcom booth as Uncle Scrooge. He had to be in a smaller Duckburg within the booth.
Yeah, and he can't see what's past it.
Yeah.
Like, what's Comic-Con?
I can't leave this room, laddie.
It's stuff like that would make, like, a game like this hard to do now. They just don't, like, they would hate the liberties taken with all of these, and they wouldn't, like, allow them, and I think that's kind of, like...
That really explains
now when you
Kingdom
play
Hearts.
the shows, right? Kingdom Hearts is extremely strict about all those things, right?
You're just
like
replaying the movies. They're not doing anything wacky or I mean, Goofy and Donald talk about prophecies and stuff, but when you go play as Aladdin, you're like in the Aladdin world and you're doing the Aladdin stuff.
Yeah, and that's part of the contractual obligations that they have to.
Yeah.
They have to have them on their planets, and they can't leave them unless they are like. That's why it's like sometimes a character's like, oh, they're a power up.
Oh
like,
yeah, they're like a
and
summon.
stuff. And so like that's like kind of the exception for those. But yeah, it's really weird rules like that they do. They're very protective of all their properties.
Yeah, I mean, they have to own the characters forever, so they can never screw up. We will always own Uncle Scrooge. So yeah, here's a little puzzle. A cane puzzle.
Nice. I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna leave you solo for a second. I just gotta respond to this phone call.
It's all me, guys.
Work things. This is a job. Boo.
I was told differently.
I know.
So yeah, everybody, this is we're gonna see
Don't
more.
panic.
I'll keep it PG rated here. So again, Launchpad should not be calling him Uncle Scrooge. I'm supremely offended by this, and I'm boycotting Ducktales 2 after this stream. But I can't see your comments. When Jack comes back, he'll let me know what you're saying. But so there's some nice touches here. I do like the graphics. This is a 1993 NES game. At this point, Capcom probably had figured out just everything to do with the NES, how to make these cool effects happen, which this is an impressive effect for the NES, in case you didn't know. To an interesting game, a very good game, but it just doesn't hold up to DuckTales 1, which is more, there's more nostalgia there, to be honest, but I think it's a better game. This one feels more solidly made, but it's just not as interesting. I feel like DuckTales had been off the air for 3 years, so nobody really wanted to beat Uncle Scrooge anymore. We would have to wait another 20 years before nostalgia came back, and we all wanted to play as Uncle Scrooge again. More collapsing bridges, more unfair deaths. So let's do that again. Again, the rewind feature in this game really, really is a good thing, because you want to avoid cheap hits. Some things are your own fault for getting hit. Things like that, I feel like the developers did it. They're plotting against me. Alright, so I don't know where I'm going in this level, but oh, and the one thing I do remember is that you can upgrade your cane in this game. There's a crafting system.
There's a crafting
not really, but you can upgrade Scrooge's cane to go through different kinds of blocks.
Okay. But yeah, Chad agrees that this one is less impressive than the, like, I mean, it is. Like, if you play this one first, you'd be like, oh, superior DuckTales game. But, like, as a sequel, sequels weren't, like, really... Nowadays, you're like, oh, well, like, what's new?
I'm pre-ordering this.
All the things that you did. But now it was just like, I was happy. Like, Sonic 2 added a spin dash and a dude who just hung out behind you and didn't really do anything at all. And, like, that was amazing!
That was amazing.
Like,
hey, our first boss. Which I don't think I've ever seen this guy in my life.
Fire dude? What the?
One of the Beagle Boys made a pact with the devil, it looks like.
Yeah!
Yeah, the bosses are a lot harder in this game. They're pretty... Damn it.
This looks like if, like, DuckTales was, like, Smallville or, like, all the CW superhero shows and, like, every character just gets an evil superpower.
I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna move on from DuckTales 2 and go to Rescue Rangers 2.
All right.
I would like to see.
Is that our final one?
Yeah, I think so. I would like to see the Smallville version of, or the Riverdale version of DuckTales, where even Uncle Scrooge is a sexy teen. Maybe I don't want to see that. 94, dear God.
94, an NES game in 94.
Oh no!
Wow, that's how.
That's how
they don't want us to play that one.
That's how outlandish the very idea is. The PS4 wouldn't even load it.
Yeah, I was like, no. That was crazy. I've never seen that before.
Yep, maybe there's a patch. I don't know. I played all the games on this myself, and I never saw that bug before. So who knows? Maybe it's the game telling me you don't want to play this. But Rescue Rangers 2 is just like DuckTales 2 in that it's fine. It just no one asked for it, and it's okay. Kind of late to the party, like 5 years after Rescue Rangers ended.
Yeah, like this overall, this is like great. It's really making me. I hope it does well, because I hope Disney then is like, oh, maybe we should look into doing more of these things, and they can like start to work with whoever owns the Virgin Interactive like games. I basically just want Lion King back on there. I spent all that time memorizing how to beat the just can't wait to be king monkey flipping part.
Oh,
like,
God.
Like, I gotta use that again. It's still in there somewhere.
That's
and
where
I
I gave up on that game, actually.
Oh, man. It was...
That level 2 just, like, kicks you in the face.
Infuriating.
Yeah.
Like...
Remember the song you loved from the movie? Now it's an awful level, and you'll have to play through it, memorizing everything. God, yeah.
And what was great was like you got through that. That was frustrating because you didn't know what to do, but like it's actually one of the easier parts of the game because you just have to know which one it is, like which monkeys to roar
The
at.
proper
to
monkey,
flip
or else
them.
they like throw you into a pit, right?
You die.
Yeah, it's like,
you'd
is
be
that-
like,
was
is
that a
that
way-
it? And it'd be like boop boop boop, water, and you're like dead. You're
That
like,
is no
"Damn
way
it."
to treat a would-be king, or a soon-to-be king, rather.
Yeah.
The monkeys are trying to usurp your throne.
Yeah.
There's
That
a
was,
lot
like,
of
the
there's-
stampede level also
Oh, yeah.
insanely difficult.
It looked really cool, though.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of story in this game. There's so
Like
much
Zipper?
dialogue.
You come with me. He's like, no, but I was about to start having a nap. Now it just sounds like Cartman. I can't do their voices.
You
Sorry,
need something to speed up your voice in order to do that.
Yeah. Sometimes some
So-
crimes.
They made different sprites at least for this game.
Yeah.
In Ducktales, it's the same Scrooge sprite, but they made kind of better sprites for these guys. But yeah, it's the exact same game in terms of how it plays. I don't think there's any new mechanics or anything. Like DuckTales 2 had some new mechanics. This is just like no, you still throw things around and
These mean little like knife fork rats.
yeah, they will stab you to death. And oddly square hamburgers.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
I would like a geometrically perfect hamburger, please.
Wendy's burgers.
And the things you pick up are now Rescue Ranger symbols, not like generic flowers. Which
Flower,
is
yeah.
better. I never got the flowers thing.
Some more vibrant colors, like
Yeah, so
kind of
just
nice.
a black and white tile. Oh, that's the one new thing. You can hold in the B button to charge up a block throw, and then.
Does it do more damage?
It does. Which I think you use against bosses.
These are very small chipmunks, see, Nick? Yeah, they are. Like, that's a
like
small
shrews.
glass. They're like this big.
Yeah.
Like,
They're as big as they are on the TV, actually, like in real life.
yeah, that's actual size. So yeah, those are bugs. Everybody is bug sized.
Oh.
What scale? Who
Uh,
cares?
Too hard to figure out.
You know what was also good on the Genesis? Probably not actually good, but that I played a lot and beat because I owned was Toy Story.
Oh.
It looked
yikes.
really good. It was like, whoa, look how cool this looks, just like the movie.
It was all pre-rendered Donkey Kong Country style
Yeah.
dudes, yeah.
And I was like, I was good at it. I was like speed running it without knowing what speed running was. I would just be like, I wonder how fast I can beat this. Like, I do the same thing with like just the Green Hill levels of Sonic.
Oh
Like-
yeah. Those are fun just to play. That's the best part of any Sonic game is
Yeah.
the first level.
First level.
Then it all goes downhill.
I would take a collection of just the first level of every Sonic game as a game. Sega, I would pay you $60 to have like
the
12
Green Hill Zone collection.
Green Hill Zone collection. Just
Oh yeah, that would be awesome actually.
Be
Or just a
great.
new game with just Green Hill Zone levels.
Just Green Hill Zone. Like,
like
you don't
you never
need.
leave.
Stop trying to make the game technical. Just
never go
let me
underwater.
Run.
That's a promise I want Sonic to make. You'll never go underwater ever.
I don't think he's gone underwater in a while.
Not since 3.
Can't remember. Yeah. Oh
or
man. I hope,
Knuckles. Knuckles probably.
certainly
Did it.
Sonic Mania will have some point.
Yeah.
Because you have to have that.
That's the source of all like childhood anxiety. So
Yeah.
here's a fun puzzle. It's like Zipper will drown you unless you get on this little lamp. So
What?
why were they hanging out with a fly anyways? I don't like that. Our best friend is Vermin. Joylessly
Monterey
giving
Jack.
cookies. The water rabbits.
Ah, yes. Who set the bomb? Water Rabbit. I did. Fat Cat. Oh, Fat Cat.
Fat Cat's in prison. We put him there.
He's in cat prison. What prison would he be in, you guys?
Yeah, I mean, there are humans in this world. I wonder how Fat Cat gets locked up.
Yeah.
Wouldn't he be just, like, destroyed in some sort of kill shelter?
Fat Cat never made sense because, like, they were all, like, in a human world, so they're, like, kind of moving around it, and they, like, stay hidden. And then it would be, like, cut to Fat Cat, and he'd be, like, in his
At
office.
his casino or
at
something?
his, like, factory that he owned, and you're just, like, so... And, like, it was Fat Cat Industries or something, and you're like, so he...
Humans
is,
just
like,
accepted this
like,
talking
okay,
cat,
yeah,
I think,
it's
into
fine.
their world.
Yeah, he was, like, the size of a person.
He was fat. I'll give him that.
Yeah. He was like a very, like, classic, like, gay Disney villain.
I feel like he was based on James Mason or something, some old Hollywood guy. I forget what he sounded like, but yeah, he was very like very feminine. He like would like twirl his mustache. And, like, he was very well dressed too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, that was like, and that was the late 80s to 90s, right? From like Radigan on to like Frollo.
Oh, like, Frollo for sure.
Yeah.
Frollo was just
was actually
a
not
virgin.
Yeah,
basically.
he was a like the ultimate like scary representation of like a nice guy.
Yeah, he was mad a woman made him horny, so he had to kill her.
Yeah.
I read the book and it's even true there.
Yeah, that was one of the only parts that was accurate. It was horrifying.
The talking gargoyles were not in the book. I looked on every page, just like, when's Jason Alexander showing up for his poop jokes? Oh god, cutscene, red or blue wire, which one should I cut?
What? Hurry! Did it tell you? Is it just a guess?
I don't know, I'm gonna choose blue though.
Okay.
Gadget.
Are you sure? I'll be below.
They're all dead.
Woo! I guess that was the right one.
I think it's always the right one.
Must have been a fake bomb.
That cat's
done
stolen.
stole
That's not how he talks.
Ale.
He's done stolen it. Who knows? We've just got to get it back.
The urn of the pharaoh. Pharaohs weren't cremated and put in urns,
No.
but good try.
Maybe it's something like his cat he cremated.
Yeah.
I'm ready to wrap up in a bit.
Yeah, I think so. We're at 12:30 now.
We've seen all the Disney Afternoon stuff.
Seen them all. You beat Ducktales.
Yeah,
Impressed.
I promised I would beat it, and I showed off some skill. So.
This is nice because I can't beat any of the levels, but now I know
you gotta get
what
that extra
to do.
health.
This was nice to like.
The extra health is vital, Jack, to beating Ducktales. You get 2 extra hits, or just play on easy.
Yeah, that's true.
You can take 2 extra hits, I think.
These are both awesome. Thank you all so much for hanging out and chatting and getting nostalgic with us. This might be my favorite one so far in terms of like conversation and interacting with you guys.
I got to talk about my bonkers preference, which is now on the internet. Please don't tell my employer. This sick freak has a bonkers preference.
Later now is asked, do we have to get ready for a meeting at 4:20 p.m.?
Whoa.
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
With Dr. Green.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, yes, happy 420 for all of you who are legally partaking. Enjoy that. You know, I don't know why you waited a whole day to do it. You can do it every day if you want.
It's the only no, that song is wrong. You can only do it one day.
Smoke weed once a year. Yeah. So there you guys go. Thank you guys so much. We will be back here again tomorrow. If you're not sick of us yet, we are streaming every day this week. So again, at 11 a.m. Pacific time, we will be playing Starblood Arena, a PlayStation 4 PlayStation VR game.
A virtual simulation.
That is a space shooter thing in 3D. It is very cool. We are gonna make people get motion sick and have to like sit down, and so that'll be fun. Somebody check that out. Do we have anything coming up next week? Let me grab our calendar. I want to like keep you all up to date on what we're doing. Next week is next week's a ton of things. Outlast 2 comes out on Tuesday.
Boy, I will not be streaming that.
We will be playing that on the day it comes out, maybe in the dark. We've got Amanda from ComDev, who is our resident horror games fan and expert.
Well, I'll watch her play just to see someone freak out.
And she'll be back again on the next day, the 26th, because it is Alien Day. So we are going to play Alien Isolation. She's going to walk me through it. I only ever played like the first level and got scared and stopped.
I was too scared. I didn't get to any
It was very stressful.
Yet, yeah.
So you'll watch me swear and scream on a stream. And then we have 2 days of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe content. On Thursday, Henry will be showing off the new content, so the battle modes, the new characters. We'll go into some of the DLC tracks that you may not have seen because they were DLC. And then on Friday, we're gonna just play a big tournament with a bunch of people here.
Cool.
And if you have the game and are online, you should definitely hit us up because we can probably do like some online tournament. Because that's one of the new modes. They have like a tournament structure thing for online. So assuming that mixes with both online and local, which probably doesn't, because no games do.
Not on Nintendo.
We'll figure something out. But we definitely want to try to like get some of you in on that. So definitely, that's our schedule for the next week. If you haven't followed the channel yet, please follow the channel either on Facebook, on Twitch, or on Twitter. You'll get alerts when we go live, and you can get in here with us. From here it says play Colonial Marines instead.
Oh no!
Never. I refuse. Unless she asks.
It's illegal to stream that now.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, right. Should be illegal. It should be illegal to be made. All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Bye.
We'll see you back here later for another stream. Have an awesome day.
Yeah.